FEIS and the Fort Lauderdale expansion. Is the South Runway really the best choice? Hello, my name is Kevin Lattiz, and I own 2 homes here in Dania Beach, Florida. I have a family of 4 with 2 new children, and we currently live directly under the South Runway flight path. However, I am not against airport expansion. I am deadly against the South Runway expansion. We know from what happened here in the early 1980s that there's now a 3-mile wide area from 441 to I-95, from the Dania Cutoff Canal up to I-595 that was eminent domain. It now provides no residential flyovers for the commercial jets. My profession is construction. I'm a general contractor here in the area. And I also know the old construction motto, the more it costs, the more we make. I also roughly know what it costs to knock down 13 buildings on the North Runway area, relocate and drop road rock and pave 8,000 feet. In big business construction, not a lot of money. That versus a 40-foot elevated runway that spans over US 1 with an elevated landing area, 2 tunnels, a bridge over the Dania Cutoff Canal. The estimated cost difference between the South Runway and the alternative C1 is $270 million. So are airport operations increasing or decreasing? Commissioner Rodstrom says,
and the no build is an action. If you look at the statistics, since 2005, we have virtually dropped in every month in operations at that airport since 2005.
Some of the major carriers like United Airlines recently stopped using Fort Lauderdale Hollywood Airport, and American Airlines is expected to announce cuts by the end of August. The discount airlines have made it clear that increased fees resulting from the expansion will make it difficult or impossible to continue operating from FLL. And which airlines account for the most passengers at FLL today? You guessed it, Spirit, Southwest, and JetBlue. Sayonara to the airport that just ranked number 4 in the nation when it comes to affordability and airfares. So if the expanding is truly in our best interest, then which expansion plan is in our best interest? Certainly it should be the one that has the least detrimental effect. You know, the one that costs the least amount of money and negatively impacts the fewest number of people and causes the least amount of harm to the environment. So why isn't C1 being given stronger consideration? With today's struggling economy, it would be irresponsible for us to choose the more extravagant option without good reason. According to the EIS, the South Runway will create highly annoying noise levels, 65 DNL, for at least 285 people. And 3,432 people will have a significant noise increase in their homes, at 3 dBs. But alternative C1 only creates highly annoying noise levels for 71 people, and 1,134 can expect a significant increase in noise. So the Commission's preferred alternative negatively impacts 3 times as many people. I still don't understand why this is the most favored option. And what about the air traffic controllers? The tower manager at FLL wrote a letter saying that air traffic controllers feel that the South Runway is an unsafe option. Pilots always have the option to decline a runway if they think safety is at stake, and some have made it clear that they will. We've got FLL air traffic controllers and pilots going on record here. Shall we ignore them? It would appear that C1 has been inappropriately dismissed from consideration. It would appear that the Commission thinks that residents are less important than cargo warehouses and private jet terminals. Even as the world keeps expanding, individuals are doing everything they can to tip the scales of fuel consumption back towards a greener world. And yet FLL plows on as though there's an unlimited fuel supply. How ridiculous is this? Wow! Would you look at these gas prices? Who owns the 13 buildings on the North Runway anyways? What do Wayne Huizinga, Moss Construction, and Stiles have to do with this project? Who are Landerman Brown, the EIS study makers, and where are they from? Manatees and my children can't speak to you, but who will speak when the EIS study says that a new South Runway may affect, but not likely to adversely affect the manatees and my kids?
A lot of people on this earth are polluting, and it's starting to become a really big problem to the environment.
It may affect? Okay, it may affect, but how? Is adversely affect even an option we can consider? What about all the jet fuel already on everything now? And that's just from the small planes. What about the entire Dania Cutoff Canal being a no-wake manatee zone area? What about the mangroves? What about the environment? What about all these people on Malibuca Gardens? Say goodbye to this building. Does anyone really think impact glass will cut down on the noise when we're all outside?
The noise level from the airplanes flying over here has interrupted our vacation, to say the least.
Have we already gone too far and overextended ourselves? We're already polluting the area ourselves at an alarming rate. What about Johnny Lloyd State Park? It's one of the United States' top 4 parks, recently featured on national TV.
It's America's first two-ton winner. You see that sign?
The new south proposed runway destroys at least 12 acres of wetlands. 12 acres of wetlands? And this. What about the power plant that's directly under the South Runway flight path at 441 and Griffin? Could you imagine if something horrific happened here? Besides the lack of electricity cut to most of Broward and Dade for weeks, maybe even months, the explosions would be so devastating that people for hundreds of years would always ask, has no one ever even thought of that?
Well, first off, it's really going to be high. It's going to be an eyesore. It's going to produce a lot more noise than the reports have said. And I mean, we live in direct line of it already with the smaller airplanes, and we get more noise than what we'd really like. And with the big, huge jets going over, it's going to be outrageous.
To our elected leaders, representatives, commissioners, and people who care about our well-being, no one here wants to expand, but if we have to, all we want is the least obtrusive, least expensive, least damaging airport expansion possible. The choice is Alternative C1. It's a 7,721-foot grade north parallel runway. So far, I haven't heard one explanation for the motivation behind why the most expensive, most damaging option of all the choices is the choice that the board supports and the EIS supports, except for what I've found out so far. We, the people, are aware that the airport has to spend its money or it loses it to the county. Hey, why not use some of that money and build a train or a people mover from the airport out to the port for the tourists? ES 322 states, the FAA is charged with ensuring that airport construction and improvement be undertaken to the maximum feasible extent so that safety and efficiency increase and delays decrease. Is this safe? Think of the fuel savings of building a train out to the port alone. As a taxpayer, I can't even believe there was no vote on this.
How are they expanding the airport when they're shutting down flights left and right?
So that's it, America. What do you think? Is the South Runway really the best choice? Let your voice be heard and get this out there. I asked my wife candidly, what do you think about all of this affecting our family so greatly?
Whatever affects the least amount of people. You know?
Okay. Thanks for your time. LaTeasePro@AOL.com.
Driving long nails into coffins. You've been having sleepless nights.